All right, moving forward. This past Friday, the newest Netflix film, The Adam Project, debuted on the streaming service. When his older self time travels from the future, a young boy teams up with him in order to save that same future. Film stars Ryan Reynolds, Zoe Saldana, Jennifer Garner, Mark Ruffalo, and Walker Scobell playing the younger version of that character. And not gonna lie, like the cast that I just mentioned, no one's bad, but no one really stands out either. Everybody pretty much plays themselves, right? Like Ryan Reynolds pretty much plays himself. He's fine doing so. I did see a little bit more emotional depth from him here. That, looking back, like I kind of haven't seen since like certain parts of Deadpool, which is kind of weird to reference that. But you can tell too that like the younger version of Ryan Reynolds' character was written so that way Ryan Reynolds can play the older version.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, to be honest. I liked it more than I thought. I think that the kid specifically, I think he did a really good job with the back and forth between him and Ryan Reynolds, and I really enjoyed that chemistry. And I also really liked just the themes that they were playing, and basically saying that, like, hey, you may not have it all together as a parent, as a kid, but like, the last thing you want to do is really have a rift between that.
And just
Exactly.
not be there.
Again, this movie actually made me tear up a bit at a few scenes, and the one thing I didn't expect as well, which I thought they did a really good job, was hone in and really stay within these moments of tenderness, and that I just thought was so well done, and they really let the actors play it out, feel the emotions, and etc. And to me, it got to me a bit, because it's just a nice theme and messaging that it feels so uplifting, especially with how maybe kids are reacting today, with maybe how parents are split, or death in the family, grief. That's the biggest thing, and how it affects us. And I like that they use time travel in a way to sort of not necessarily cure it, but just accept it and try to move on in both parties, and even as a parent, which I didn't expect to get a lot of screen time as well with Jennifer Garner. I thought she did an absolute stellar job, and I guess the perception of how Ryan Reynolds' main character perceived the father as well, and you see two different perspectives of that and how they're flawed in their own way. And I absolutely really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really good. And Shawn Levi yet again shows that he knows how to direct Ryan Reynolds, and I think that's another big part.
He knows how to direct Ryan Reynolds. He knows how to direct a sort of fun sci-fi comedy sort of film, because we saw this with Free Guy when that came out last year. And this movie, again, is no exception. It was a lot of fun. Like, I know I kind of opened up on a negative point before, but I honestly did enjoy this movie. This was a lot of fun. It was very entertaining. It was kind of weird how I kind of felt like a sort of 80s nostalgia vibe with this, even though it takes place or it takes place today, and it has people coming from the future. So I felt like that was kind of odd, but I dig it nonetheless. And it was definitely more heartwarming and emotionally effective than I expected. The action was a lot of fun. Visuals, by and large, visuals looked really good. It's definitely beautiful to look at. Like, I remember watching this with my dad, and just certain parts, like certain rural parts, or like certain parts in the woods that they're filming, and I'm like, where the hell is this? I want to go there. Like, this is gorgeous. Wow. This is really nice. There's one thing I will say in terms of like a real flaw in the movie is centered around the villain a lot.
Yeah, that's
Catherine Keener. I like her as an actress. I thought she was terrific in Being John Malkovich, but at the same time, am I the only one that's kind of bored with the whole stereotypical evil CEO villain?
That,
because I feel like it's just put out there so many times, and without spoiling too much, there's a certain character. I probably gave it away already, but there's a certain character who we see the younger version of, right? And the de-aging CGI for that character was really distracting.
It was.
And here's the thing, like, there are films and TV shows that have done it well. Like, Book of Boba Fett, I thought they did a great job with, the whole CGI Luke Skywalker. And I know The Irishman, when that came out, that got a lot of flack for its de-aging CGI. I thought both of them did a solid job with doing that. This, it was very noticeable. It was really, really noticeable, and it threw me off a lot of times.
Yeah, I wasn't too fond of the villain. Very stereotypical, but at the same time, to me, I guess the themes of the movie and everything kind of overshadow that to a certain degree because I just had a really good time. Again, I'm not saying it's not there. Obviously, it is. It's in the movie itself. But you know, like that was a disappointing aspect, and I did expect maybe a bit more from that character, and I think they could have done more. But nonetheless, I had a good time. My dad and I are both cracking up while we were watching this. You know, we were both like at the end, like this was fun. This was good.
It was. It felt like a little bit more than just fun, which again, like that was a nice surprise too. I didn't expect anything more than just that. So like, you know, we both watched this with our dads.
Exactly.
All right, so. All right, everyone. What did you guys all think of The Adam Project? I personally recommend that you check it out on Netflix. Leave your thoughts in the comment section.